Hello, this is the dashboard when you enter in Elastic. So you're gonna have your classes. You can create or add classes. You can create them here. You can manage your classes here. In this case, this were my two classes from last year. And there's some suggested ready-made tests that you can use. Some of them, as you can see, they have the Elastic sign. They are Elastic approved. There's a left panel here when we have the dashboard, the assignment, gradebook, insights, data studio. And if you want to create your own test, here you can do it. So let's jump to assignments. I have 8 assignments here in this group, as you can see. So I have several assignments here. My group, if we jump in one of these assignments, let's try this one. The first things we're gonna see here is a regular live class board. You can see on real time how your students are performing. These are the amount of questions that are. This is the performance of them. These are the correct questions, partially correct questions, not answer questions, incorrect question in red. This is the average score of the whole group. Here you have a performance per questions and the amount of times they are spending on that question. For example, here I can see that question 8, it was the most complicated question that they had here. They spent the more amount of time. I have a lot of partially correct, a lower correct questions. I can see that, for example, question 5, it was confusing for them, but they rushed through it also. These are individual students that I can click, checking the responses and checking each individual student, how they performed. The other good thing that I have is I have the Express Grader, in which I have my students, their scores, and how they perform in each question. I have the report based on standards, as I showed in the presentation, in which I have all the standards included in this quiz, which questions are those standards represented, and the mastery summary of those standards, the performance summary for that standard in the whole group, personally, each student, settings. These are the settings that I set up for this specific test. Once you're designing your own test, you will get to this and you will see, if you can see, this say open date, close date for the exam, the open policy and the close policy. Have a show calculation, yes or no question. How many attempts you want the students to try to answer the test. You can give them the opportunity to check the answer before submitting. You can complete in one sitting or more than one sitting. So you have restrict navigation out of test. In this case was disabled, but you can warn and report if they run out of the test, or you can warn and block. This one I sometimes apply it if it's a long test. Then they will need to call me. I will check what they're doing and I will reopen the test for them, but that's time that they lost. This is a restrict question navigation, in this case itself. Time limit for a test once they are in one setting. If you predict that you're gonna have students that are either not gonna come, or in my case, that I put this on a day that I was absent and a substitute was for me, well, I put this on and then I print out the physical test. So if the student says, I don't have my Chromebook, I forgot my Chromebook, or I can give it a physical paper test. So you can create your assignments, you check your assignments, you can check your gradebook in this case, and you can find insights. There's a lot of insights that you can find here. As you can see, there's a summary of the assessments about the subgroups performance, questions analysis on a test, response frequency, performance by standards, performance by students. So you can group your students by levels, performance over time from certain students, how they going improving or not. Peer progress analysis. In here, you can compare several students all together. Here's specifically student progress to different tests, pre versus post. There's a data studio. Then you have an item bank. This is the item banks for my selections, grade 7, science, standard sets of science, new generation science standards, all the standards, my collections, etc. So it will give me a list with the standards and the kind of question that they have. Level, image drag and drop, multiple choice, text up and down, multiple choice. As you can see, the majority of them are multiple choice. You can actually do a new item here and do a different one. You can even embed videos on your question. So you have your test. You have a lot of selected pre-made tests there. Some of them are Ideolastic certified. They tell you the standard that they are testing, in this case, the name, the total amount of question. Then you have a playlist if you want to create one with several different tests that you have for certain group. And then you have your managed classes. If you want to learn more, you always can visit Demo Playground. That will take you to a demo where everything you do is now going to be with real students. So you can actually play around here. But if you have time, I will strongly recommend you to visit the ground. Well, this is Elastic in a minute.